want to start with an apology. It wasn't until I started making this video that I learned that this watch is sold out. Like, long sold out, all 500 pieces. Days after it went on sale back in 2021, I didn't know that. You can definitely find them used in good condition for not too much more than retail, but I just think that's kinda dumb, so I'm sorry. If you like this watch, you'll need to do some extra work and maybe put out some extra cash. And to be perfectly frank, I'm a little surprised that these are so popular. This is a strange looking watch. I like it. I like strange. You are what you wear, as they say. They being me. But when I look at what most people wear, most people seem to prefer more austere designs. Which is why I suspect that these watches were designed for and quickly bought by my people, watch nerds. This is the Seiko SRPG53, and it came out in the summer of 2021, along with two other bold Seiko 5 watches. All three of these are from a collaboration between Seiko and the American clothing brand and retailer Rowing Blazers. I describe what Rowing Blazers sells as modern preppy, which hits a little too close to home for me. And that's why I reluctantly admit that this watch is a pretty good collaboration targeted at me, and despite everything, I guess I'm part of a pretty predictable demographic. This watch is a modern Seiko 5 diver or dive style watch. The Seiko 5 sports line was revamped in 2019, or maybe you could say that it was introduced then. It took most of its design cues from the beloved SKX watches and made some improvements. The SRPG53 is 42.5mm across, 13.4mm thick, and 46mm long. It has 22mm lugs and a water resistance of 100 meters. $495 was the original list price for this and the other two Rowing Blazer collaborations from 2021. All three watches come with matching NATO-style straps. And I guess I should put matching in quotes because I think the idea was for these to clash a bit, except maybe for the one I got. Somehow the strap that came with this watch is just black, which looks good, it's just they could have gone with any of the bezel colors instead and made it more interesting, /unique, /ugly. And what is with those bezel colors, and what's with the striped second hand and the skeleton printed on the display back? Just, why are you the way that you are? I think we probably all know the answer. This isn't a tool watch, although it could be used as one, it's pretty functional. But no, this watch is all about its unique and divisive looks, much like yours truly. So there's not much of a story to tell about the whys. But how do we feel about its looks? The royal we, I guess. Overall, I like this. Starting with that bezel, my overactive brain doesn't like that green is there. Red, blue, yellow, all primary colors. There's a symmetry there, but then green, why not purple or orange? Or they could have gone with a 3-color bezel, whatever, I'm fine, it's all, and nothing's ever not fine. I do really like the white chapter ring, I think it adds a nice framing to the dial. The dark gray dial, it's not black, it's dark gray, which is also kinda nice. The lume color is a very light shade of tan. It's almost white, but not quite, and I think it's a good compromise between pure white lume and overly tan lume that's popular these days and just looks fake to me. The lume glows strongly and bluely, which is a new adverb that I just invented. I find the striped second hand delightful. I don't think it quite matches the rest of the look, but again, like with some of the straps, maybe that's the point, is to not match. And somehow to me this doesn't look like one of those poorly done mods that makes me yearn for macular degeneration. Despite all the strange elements, this looks like it was designed by someone who knew what they were doing. The watch comes on a pretty standard Seiko 5 bracelet, comfortable on my 7-inch wrist, nothing special. It uses pins rather than screws to hold the links together, which, yeah, that's usually what you get at this price. And if you don't like the bracelet, these new Seiko 5 watches all have drilled lug holes, so removing the bracelet is very easy. And despite the colorful design, I think the watch looks good on a lot of different straps. I don't know, maybe because of all the colors. The watch is powered by the Seiko 4R36 movement. It hacks, it hand winds, it's good enough. The 36 has date and day complications. This watch has both English and Spanish days. That's probably because these are for the US market. The 4R36 is mostly visible through the case back. I usually don't like prints on a display back. Why put something on the glass if you want people to see what's inside? But in this case, 1. The 4R36 isn't winning any beauty contests. And 2, I like this print. The skeleton is sitting and waiting above the Latin text Tempus Fugit. Tempus Fugit, time flies. This is a memento mori, a reminder of death. Here's a skeleton sitting on his ass and waiting. Maybe it already missed its chance to do the important things in life, like making and watching videos about anachronistic timepieces. Anyway, this is my kind of art. In the last few weeks, Seiko and Rowing Blazers have teamed up again for a new collection of watches. These are perhaps a little simpler. They use the bezel-less Seiko 5 design, which I still haven't come around to. This watch without a rotating bezel does look a little weird to me, like a bad mod. But I like the dial colors and the markers, and they just sold out too. I hope you've all sharpened your pitchforks. But all this implies to me that the collaboration between Seiko and Rowing Blazers could be long-lived. Long-lived? It is frustrating to have a watch you like become unavailable before you can raise the money through your GoFundMe page, but I think that these might only work in small batches, and if that's what makes these financially viable for the two brands, I say keep going. Keep making fun and weird and divisive watches, bring some life to this industry. Tempus f***ing Fugit, y'all.